Hello everyone, this is Raviteja, and in this video, let's discuss the topic called menopause. So, menopause is a state wherein women, especially in their 50s, stop their periods because of the hormonal changes. And many women face different issues during this phase. So, let's dive in deeply why women faces different issues and what is the solution for it. So, let me share my screen and I'll explain. I hope it is visible. So usually what happens is when woman enters this menopause phase, they usually approach a doctor and they start using medication or some therapies like hormone replacement therapies. But there is a problem associated with it. Okay. Um, I mean, when you approach this problem with symptom, that's not the actual solution. So when you go for a hormone replacement therapy, there are different side effects like cancer risks, blood clots, increasing stroke risk. So there are different side effects associated with surgeries. At the same time, many women end up taking too much of medicines for different issues. Like they take medicine for hot flashes, like joint pains, depression. For each one, they take one medicine, and there will be like polypharmacy problem. Like that means they take many medicines, which actually increases the side effects. So imagine like putting a band-aid on a broken pipe. So when there is a broken pipe, uh, putting band-aid is just treating a symptom. What we need to do is like we need to switch off the tap, right? So let's discuss the root cause of it and let's find the solution in the root cause itself. So what actually happens is, um, especially in our body, there is something called hypothalamus. It actually regulates the body's temperature. For example, let's say um, uh, there is there is so hot outside. What your body does is your body decreases your internal temperature so that your body adapts to the outside temperature. Let's say, for example, in winter, there is so much of cold outside. Your body produces heat so that outside cold is not affecting the internal organs. And that is regulated by a gland in the brain called hypothalamus. So what happens is before menopause phase, there is a safe zone. Like even though there are different temperatures happening inside and outside our body, the zone will be very high. Like for example, let's say the zone will be 60 to 100. So in between whatever the temperature changes happens, our body will not get affected. But after menopause, what happens is this zone, whatever the temperature zone, shrinks. So whenever these zone shrinks, if there is any major triggers happening, maybe outside, there is a trigger happening in the inside, like in the form of stress, temperature changes, blood sugar spikes. So all this happens because of, the estrogen getting stopped in the menopause phase. So this is why many women face issues in the phase of menopause, like around 48 to 50 to 53 age. Okay. So the hidden culprit here is insulin resistance. So what happens is these estrogen actually protects beta cells. These beta cells, I'm not going into deeply, but these beta cells releases something called insulin. And if this insulin sensitivity is good, then we maintain good weight. Will not have any issues like BP, heart related issues, arthritis. All these issues will not come if there is proper insulin sensitivity in our body. Because in the menopause phase, that estrogen drops, that insulin sensitivity reduces, and we go into a phase called insulin resistance. So when we are into insulin resistance, our weight increases and we get all the issues, especially in the midsection area. We get belly fat, side fat, and chronic disease like diabetes. All this happens because of insulin resistance. This thing happens especially in the menopause phase. So we need to fix this insulin resistance, and this is the most important thing when we are addressing menopause symptoms. And one more thing is vitamin D crisis. So many women don't take vitamin D and they believe that they'll get enough vitamin from the sun. But for majority of the people, it's not true because we don't go into sunlight often, and we don't go into sunlight when vitamin D comes at abundance. Okay, so that's why what happens is this vitamin D and estrogen acts as co-workers. Okay, so they influence each other. So when the estrogen is low, your body can't properly activate to use that vitamin D. So what happens is your body takes vitamin D, takes calcium from the bones. So your bones becomes weak. and you end up in osteoporosis, and your like body structure will be very weak. So these are the two problems. The first problem is insulin resistance. Second one is low vitamin D. So coming to solution, it's very easy. The plan is like to reduce this insulin resistance. So there are majorly two things that we need to do to reduce this insulin resistance. The first thing is we need to cut the carbohydrates. So carbohydrates means whatever majority of the food that we eat generally are carbohydrates. Maybe it's your breakfast, lunch, in between snacks and night dinner and outside food. Most of the food are contains this carbohydrate. So we need to cut that carbohydrates. Second thing is we need to practice intermittent fasting, like 2 meal diet. Okay. So it's important when to eat and what to eat. Both are important. And the second thing is to boost vitamin D. Okay. So when you boost vitamin D, it actually helps in circadian rhythm. That means like you sleep at a proper time and you wake up at a proper time. Your sleep disturbance will not happen. So it's important to take enough vitamin D, and it depends on each individual vitamin D levels. You need to check your vitamin D, and you should take in proper amounts. And it's all important that you take magnesium supplements along with vitamin D for proper absorption. Okay. And there is something called light therapy. So to get into sunlight in the morning, avoid blue light, avoid phones when you're sleeping, especially 1 hour before you sleep. So these things help to pass that menopause phase without any much symptoms or without any side effects. So it's very easy. Menopause doesn't mean that have to be mean, misery, and dozens of pills. It is normal to have a dip in estrogen that happens for every woman, but at the same time, it's important that you have a regular diet, which reduces this insulin resistance, and you take vitamin D and also address some root causes if there are any. Okay, because each woman are different, each woman health is different. So we need to check each individual health, and based on that, we need to address the solution. So it's two simple steps. First step is cut carbs and boost vitamin D. The only root cause is insulin resistance, so we need to address that. And if you approach this problem with this method, you will get zero side effects. So which step are you trying first? Let me know in the comments. Thank you.